3, 2.
Mi nombre es Verónica Andrade Gomez. I am 22 years old, yes. And I am a senior at Mount Mary University. And I'm studying accounting. Here's the thing, when I was younger, right? Like, I would always see my grandma and she would always go to mass like every single day. And I was like, why do you go to mass every day, right? Like, I didn't understand it. Like, I was raised Catholic, pero no entendía. So, over time, like, I started learning a bit more and more just because I got involved with Iskali. And then I started to learn, like, more from, like, different people that I would meet. So it was pretty nice. And then I learned about Carlo Acutis, which he was, basically he teaches, like, how, like, it's so important to, like, take the Eucharist. So I will see, maybe I could be wrong, but it was just so beautiful because I was like, dude, tenemos la oportunidad to, like, receive the Eucharist, like, God, cada día, and we don't take advantage of that? Like, that's so crazy. So then I went to Sikh and we would go to mass every day. And so ya ni lo veía como una obligación because I feel like growing up, you kind of see it as an obligation since you're kind of forced to because of your parents. I mean, I was at least, and I didn't want to. Like, I was there physically, but not emotionally, so no ponía atención. And so, like, little by little, like, once I actually started to, like, enjoy going to mass, and then I was like, okay, like, me siento muy en paz, like, I really enjoy it. It's I don't know, it's pretty nice. Y entonces ya después de ahí, I was like, you know what, like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even have it set to, like, voy a ir a misa cada día. Like, it just kind of happened. And so empecé a ir a misa, like, every single day. Unless, like, I really can't, like, no voy. But most of the time I'll be like, no puedo, like, es que tengo que ir a misa. So it's pretty nice, honestly. Like, it's something that I would highly recommend for people. I know it can be scary. Miguel and I were talking about that, like, what's a message you have for people who are trying to go to mass? And if you're new to it, it can be very scary, right? Porque you don't, like, tienes que saber muchas cosas, like different responses to the mass, or like, oh, tienes que estar parado, tienes que estar sentado, tienes que estar hincado. So I feel like what helps a lot is going with someone who already, like, has been going to mass. Porque así, like, you at least have someone. I'm not saying that you can't go alone, but if that's something that's stopping you from going to mass, like, I would highly recommend, like, reaching out to someone and being like, hey, like, quiero ir a misa. And I'm 100% sure that they're going to be like, oh yes, like, they will be so happy that you want to join them. So yeah, I feel like that's just something we should take advantage of. Like, we get to receive the body of Christ. So yeah. My lifestyle, I feel like it was a lot about me. Like, todo era me, you know? And I was like, you know how, like, our generation is very woke? Like, no, like, it's todas esas cosas. Like, we're very, like, a woke generation in a way. And I just kind of, like, made it all about me. Like, yo decía, I was like, yo no voy a tener hijos, yo no me voy a casar, like, yo no me quiero casar, like, I don't want to be the typical, like, woman, like, no, like, I want to work, I want to make money, I want a big house, I want cars, I want money. Like, it was just a lot about me. Y también no quería tener hijos because of that same thing that I was like, no, dude, like, I'm going to ruin my body. And I was very, like, self-absorbed. Like, I would go to the gym y siempre me miraba al espejo and I was like, dang, I look good, right? And it was all, like, physical. Like, I'm being so real with you. It was all physical, and I feel like a lot of our generation is like that we tend to just, like, we just focus on the outside of things. We focus on, oh, es que porque tiene un carro del año, porque tiene un iPhone del año, porque tiene dinero, like, they're happy. But they're not. Like, you can have all of those things and you see it. Like, you see celebrities, you see people who have a lot of money, y que they come in, like, they take their life away. And that's when, like, you truly, like, understand que el dinero no es todo. Like, you really have to be at peace with yourself. And that's something that I was just a lot about. Quiero salir adelante because I want money and I want the life that, like, my parents didn't have, and I want to give more opportunities to people. And I mean, I guess that was something good because I was like, oh, quiero dinero para ayudar. But at the same time, I was also like, was I actually, like, did I actually want to help people because I want to help them, or did I want to help them because I knew they would be like, it would be, oh, yo les ayudé. and they would be appreciated over me. And it wasn't much for them. It was more for me, for like the gratification. So I don't know, I feel like it was just a lot about me. Ya después de eso, I just kind of realized that after the retreat, I kind of just, after like the first night, which I'm not gonna tell you because vívelo, you have to live it. This is your invitation to the retreat. And I just kind of like realized that I wasn't doing enough and I wasn't living life the correct way. Y entonces ya después de ahí, I was just like, no estoy viviendo bien. And just like meeting different people just kind of changed my life and the perspective that I had for life. And now it's a very beautiful life. Like I feel like so at peace. Even if I'm stressed or if I'm angry or I'm frustrated, like me siento muy like relajada. So my turning point, a heartbreak. Yeah, it was a heartbreak. And so after that, it was just, primero I was just like angry, but then afterwards it was like, you know what, like no, like es como dicen, like Dios will use your suffering for good, and He will use like those bad circumstances to better your life in a way. Y a lo mejor no entendemos a ese momento, but like later on you kind of see and you're like, you know what, like this was meant to happen, and I'm so glad this happened, even though it's not something that you wanted. But yeah, that was basically the turning point. And then I started to go to like adoration every day, and I started to pray. I started to just get more familiarized with like being Catholic and just living out the way of a Catholic person, and just getting closer to like sainthood, because it's possible. It's very possible. So yeah. A lot. I mean, it's basically, como dije, it's not about me. It's more about like, ¿sabes qué? Esto me ayudó a mí, and I'm not just going to keep it to myself. Like, I'm going to share with everyone else. Because it's not about just like, Dios no es solamente para mí, es para que like for us to share with every single person, because the goal is to save everyone's soul and to like reach out to people and to just like teach them and lead them, guide them, because I feel like most of us, actually all of us, we need guidance. We cannot do it alone. So yeah. First encounter. I mean, I grew up Catholic, but encounter, I feel like just going to, I couldn't tell you like a point exactly, because I know people have like, oh, like esto les pasó, and like, then I got closer to God. But for me, I think it was just like a routine of going to adoration a lot, that I kind of I got really close to God. Oh, just having friends that maybe they don't have like the same perspective that I do. So algunas veces they can make jokes like, oh, es que tú nomás like a la iglesia ahí. Oh, nomás like, I don't drink. And so when I'm like, oh no, and they're like, oh, but you only drink the body of Christ. And like, it's funny, but at that moment I'm like no manches, like it hit me and I was like, oh dude. And so then, so it's just like those like little things. Or when I don't want to go out, I'm not big on going out, and they're like, oh, tú nomás quieres like ir a misa, o quieres like leer la Biblia or whatever. And so like those like comments, like they're funny after, but like during that time you're like, ay, como que sí me, no lastimó, but like it kind of bothered me, because I was like, it comes from like someone that's close to you, and they're not close to God, and you're like, like I want to help you out so much. So those, I feel like those things that have definitely like have bothered me, and that's something that I'm struggling with, or I'm trying to work with. Like, porque Dios dice, like you are going to be like probably judged, or people are not going to like you because of me. So it's just like, it's something that we kind of have to get used to, and like try to like, you know what, like está bien, like, pero todavía te quiero. bettered. Like, I didn't have a really close relationship with my sister, but then after I got closer to like my faith, I feel like now we're really close. And obviously no al 100%, but like it's little by little getting there. And with my parents, it's something that I'm working on, especially like my dad. Like, lo quiero mucho, but it's just, I feel like there's some barrier there, and I feel like once that barrier is like down and it's gone, yeah, I will definitely get closer to my faith. Any positive changes? Well, I just feel like in general, like my whole life, like como les dije, like I just feel so at peace. I feel everyone's worthy of love, despite like what they have gone through or what they have done. And so like looking at that from like that perspective, like it makes me treat everyone like with love, because that's what, like, we're sons and daughters of God. So my goals, just keep going to mass and keep just preaching the gospel like through Instagram if I can, and just like reaching to like different people, porque algunas veces, a lot of jóvenes especially, like we tend to just feel really lost, and we're just trying to find like the purpose of life, or like the meaning, like what's my meaning, like what's my call, like yes I go to college, or yes I'm working, but like this doesn't fulfill me, like ¿qué puedo hacer so I me siento like fulfilled? So just like doing that and bringing people closer to God. Let me see, to just love one another and to respect one another, because I feel like the basis of just being a good person is just love. And I feel like seeing, if we all loved each other, and if we all like understood que somos hermanas y hermanos, and like we're all like family, y que we're all worthy of love, then I feel like this world will be a way better place. And so just love. And even if it's someone that you like don't like, because it's normal, somos humanos, like we're not going to like everyone, not everyone's going to like us, but it's just a matter of like, you know what, like we might have different perspectives, but I love you. So I invite you to love people and tell people that you love them. Well, it was difficult. It was definitely difficult, especially like in the first like months, when it's like a lot of transition from like who you were to like who you are, and you like want to hold on to who you are so bad. I used to dress like, I'm big into fashion. I love fashion. I love thrifting. I love just like putting outfits together. It's so beautiful, right? But then I also like loved showing my body, because I was like, you know what, like I work out, like why am I not gonna show it off? And so it was a lot of that when it came to like modesty, and so it kind of kept pulling me like back. O también con la música. I love reggaeton. I still love reggaeton, but I just can't listen to it, because then I actually put attention to the words, and I'm like, what am I putting into my head? Y algunas veces we do it so unconsciously, but we're living these things, and we're all like, what do these songs talk about? Sex, drugs, objectifying bodies, like todo eso. So it's just like, it gets into your head. And it was definitely something that I struggled with, because I was like, oh, es que I really like this, like, you know, but you can't just pick and choose, like in this life. You can't, like, you have to go through all of it. You have to start fresh. So no es fácil, but it's not impossible. That you don't have to do it alone. I know it's not easy to ask for help, especially like for me. I was raised to be like very independent. So para mí que pregunte to like, oh, can you help me out? Or like, hey, do you want to go to Santissimo with me? Or do you want to go to Mass with me? Like, I would rather do it alone, just because I feel like I bother people. But you don't bother anyone. Like, ask, and people will be so happy to help you. So you don't have to do it alone. Jesus didn't do it alone, so you don't have to. Drink bubbler. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just live the retreat. Honestly, live the retreat. But when you feel ready to, like, don't let anyone force you into it, because I feel like you won't go like you won't go to the retreat with an open heart. And I would want you to go to the retreat, to go to mass, to go to these places with an open heart instead of being forced to, because if not, you're totally going to like shut yourself out. But yeah, that's it.